All right, Stephen A., I want to come to you on this because we always hear the comparisons between LeBron and MJ, right? And now, given the information we just heard from Steve Kerr, Michael Jordan himself just came out and said, I don't know how people are going to look at me after they see this docuseries. They might feel different. When it's all said and done, do you believe LeBron might come out looking better than MJ?
Hell no. Not even a little bit. Please don't get me started with that. First of all, let me say this about Steve Kerr. I don't believe him, with all due respect, and I love the man. He's a beautiful person and a damn great coach as well, and a five-time champion. We all know what he brings. I don't believe him for 1 second. Nobody was in a position to say anything or take any position against Scottie Pippen other than Michael Jordan. That's why you heard all of that quiet and everybody's going to sound supportive. You can't be a teammate with a guy who we all love and respect because he was great, who goes on the record and says, you know what, I didn't give a damn. I said, I'm not going to get the surgery early because I ain't want to F up my summer and then turn around and say you support that, because that's not thinking about the team. That's number one. Number two, Michael Jordan had been underpaid for years, just like Scottie Pippen had been underpaid by the Chicago Bulls. He just honored this contract and went on the court and handled his business every single damn night. Number three, when we compare MJ to LeBron, can we stop the nonsense, please? If you want to make the argument that LeBron James looks better because the competition he went against in the NBA Finals was superior, pretty much the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Throw a series against the Dallas Mavericks in there, which he lost, and one against a young Oklahoma City squad, which he won. But it's primarily against San Antonio and Golden State. I understand that. But what about the road to prosperity? What about the road to the NBA Finals? Do you know who Michael Jordan had to go up against? How about Larry Bird with McHale and Ainge and Dennis Johnson and those boys in Boston? How about the Detroit Pistons, the bad boys with Isaiah, Rodman, Sally, Lambeer, Mahorn, Dumas, and the crew, and Vinny the Microwave Johnson? When you win your first title, you won against Magic Johnson. When you won your second title, you won against Clyde Drexler. When you won your third title, you won against Barkley and Marley and them. But before you got there, you had to go against Pat Riley's Rough Rider Knicks. You had to go up against the Indiana Pacers. We forget about Cleveland with Larry Nance, Mark Price, and the crew. You know, Matt Doherty and those boys. At the road, LeBron James was in an Eastern Conference that was soft as cottonelle tissue and still loaded up by Jordan, D. Wade, and Bosh before he learned how to win. Michael Jordan had to go through hell and back, where we've got James Worthy on the air saying, I didn't know how he lived, how he survived. I mean, that's what they were putting him through. LeBron never had to go through something like that. So don't talk to me about LeBron ever looking better than MJ, because that ain't happening. Ain't happening.
Not by the end of this 10-part series, Stephen A. Not by the end of The Last Dance. I don't think LeBron will look better than Jordan. And not in your eyes or my eyes, or I think a sober analysis of the facts. And by the way, even, well, LeBron's faced stiffer competition in the finals, Jordan eliminated more 60-win teams from the playoffs than anyone. He had a better record in the playoffs versus 60-win teams. Like, people are forgetting how good the teams were that Jordan beat, even on the way to the playoffs, a 60-win, on the finals, a 60-win Orlando team, then a 64-win Seattle team, and the Jazz were winning 60-plus games several seasons when Jordan played them in the finals. Look, I don't think LeBron will look better by the end of the doc. And in fact, so far, Jordan looks really good. I do think in 30 years, when the generation that's much younger than us, Stephen A., are then in the same kind of positions in the media, for example, that you and I are in now, and that when they're kind of framing the story 30 years from now, because LeBron is their guy, he'll represent their youth and what they feel attached to, he will probably wind up looking better because he also did things like, for example, take political stances and was good with many teammates and elevated really, like Jordan put more teams over the top than LeBron. Jordan was a better finisher than LeBron, and Jordan was a greater player than LeBron. But probably LeBron could do more with less than anyone ever. So when the next generation is in the position we are in now, and the LeBron documentary comes out, they'll be calling him the greatest ever. They'll be wrong, but that's what's going to happen.
Well, all right. So you just talking to me about the ignorant that's going to say they right. You ain't talking to me about people who know basketball and know sports, all right, that are going to sit up there and say, hell no. LeBron, I appreciate his political stances. Please don't get me wrong. It took him a decade plus to get to that point. That's fine. How he get to that point? Who built the league that he ultimately took to another level and helped prosper? That would be MJ. That would be Michael Jordan, who, by the way, was sitting up there. It was him that facilitated cats getting paid so they could be secure enough to get bold. I get bold, too. If you put $1 billion in my pocket, I tell you, I get real bold.
And if we're still alive when that documentary comes out,
please.
If we're still alive when that doc comes out, they will interview one of us or both for the other point of view. There'll be guys in our generation who are really old, but they go, oh, Jordan's even better. And the young kids will be laughing at us. And, of course, the joke's on them, nevertheless.
They ain't going to bother with you. They ain't going to bother with you.
How would you describe what it was like being on the floor trying to play defense when Michael Jordan had the ball?
First off, good morning, Greeny. I'm going to be a professional and answer your question first and foremost. But then I got to get to Jay Williams in a second. Okay. Playing against Michael Jordan, we're going to hear so much about the triangle offense, and rightfully so, it put everybody in position. You need that when you have an all-time great player. It creates a level of discipline and balance on the floor. So shout to Tex Winter and Phil Jackson for instituting that. But what normally happened was they'd swing the ball once or twice, and then all of a sudden it became something within the league we called the Bermuda Triangle, where really it was just MJ going one-on-one. And they just isolate for him. And such a dominant player, such a dominant scorer. The Black Cat was faster, was stronger, was more athletic, had the killer instinct like no other. So now let me get to you, Jay Williams. I saw you and Marcus Spears, my brothers, on this television show, talking about Michael Jordan's leadership style and comparing it to LeBron James. Let me tell y'all something. When y'all want to have GOAT conversations, Greeny, I can't believe you allowed this to happen. Okay. First and foremost, we can't have an MJ versus LeBron conversation because LeBron got to leapfrog some other people on the Mount Rushmore, everyone. Okay, there are some people that play basketball that accomplished some things and achieved the level of greatness that LeBron just has not been able to do. You want me to name them for you?
Please.
Besides Michael Jordan?
Yes.
You ever heard of a guy named Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Mm-hmm. Okay. You ever heard of a guy named Bill Russell? You ever heard of a guy named Irvin Magic Johnson? It's just, when did LeBron pass Magic? Did I miss something? Did I miss something? He's in the top five, but those guys
go ahead, Jay. Go ahead. Marcus is
Give
here too. Go ahead, Jay.
Jay Rose. Look, we're talking about leadership style, Jay Rose, and different strokes for different folks, man. You're from the old school. I get it. I like the old school mentality. But my thing is, just because you win championships and other guys win championships don't mean that other people think you're a great leader just because you won championships. And I understand that Jordan won 6. And I understand that he's the greatest ever to do it, that you guys are saying that. But there are different ways to lead, guys. And some people are more preferential towards a styleship leadership perspective of a LeBron James than a guy like Jordan that's like, just get out my way. Just get out of my way. It's just different strokes for different folks, Jay Rose.
Marcus, go ahead. What do you want to jump in with?
Look, we all know, we all hear the stories, and we all understand that Jordan was a venomous competitor. He got on his teammates, he lifted them. His ability to play the game was beyond what anybody had ever seen in the NBA. Everybody gets all of that. The thing that frustrates me, it's not even about who you think the greatest player of all time is. That frustrates me. The frustration for me comes from you have to be the Jordan way in order to be the ultimate leader and competitor in the NBA. That's the part that bothers me in this whole conversation. Because if you are going to tell me that in LeBron's years in the NBA, he hasn't led and been able to make players play at a higher level than they probably assume they go. J.R. Smith's career was on the brinks of being just a fly-by-night guy. He's a champion. Matthew Dellavedova went and got $38 million from another basketball team because he played with LeBron James. Look at Tristan Thompson, the way he ascended and played. Like, there is a number of guys. There's a number of remnants from LeBron's leadership ways and the way he made guys better.
Where's
and made
Mills? Can I get in here?
certain
Can I
systems
get in
to
here?
put him in this conversation
Can
as
I
well.
get in here,
Go,
please?
Jalen. Yes.
Okay. When did you guys get so emotional? Y'all talking about leadership style and teammates, how they felt about the process? Is that what I'm hearing? You guys know this as well as anyone. Okay, a lot of times championships don't necessarily buy happiness. Scottie Pippen basically was a top 10 in the league and getting paid in 1993. In 98, he was 120-something. He basically almost sabotaged the final year. He was not happy with them. He was not happy with his championships. I saw Shaquille O'Neal basically do the same thing when he didn't get a deal from the Lakers. He wanted the late, great Dr. Jerry Buss to give him a deal. They had just won 3 championships. He was unhappy in L.A. and went to Miami. KD went to Golden State and left there. He doesn't talk very fondly necessarily about that being the best experience of his career overall. It's about getting it done.
Yeah.
And nobody got it done better than Michael Jordan. And I heard you, Spears, talking about LeBron was the leader at all times. And of course, I don't want to down somebody to up somebody else type of thing, but we're just having a debate here. LeBron James went to Miami to learn a championship mojo. Okay, they had a leadership in place with Dwayne Wade that won the championship and Pat Riley as well. I'm just saying that we're going to talk all history and all facts.
LeBron James, who was his coach in Cleveland? Who was his coach in Cleveland?
The first
When he
time,
first got drafted,
it really didn't matter. That's why he left.
When I've lost
why
control.
did he leave Cleveland, Jay?
Hold on.
Why did LeBron leave Cleveland?
That's why he went to go be part of an organization with Pat Riley. Pat Riley, a guy who's won championships.
Can I relate this?
I've lost control. Marcus, can I ask you a question?
Can I relate this to my basketball aficionados? You know how much I respect you, Jalen, and Jay Will. I go to you guys for basketball knowledge, even though I watched the game and participated. Let me ask y'all this, bro. Why is there this need? And Jalen, I feel like you're doing it. I love you, big bro. Why is this need to discredit LeBron James? Like, where does this come from? Is this something that's
first
talked
thing
about
I said, Greeny,
in the
right?
NBA
Preach,
circles?
Marcus. Preach, Marcus. Preach.
I just said
I just need to know.
He's on my Mount Rushmore. I have him as the 4th greatest player of all time. That's not diminishing someone.
You have